your hybrid trap kicks sound weak, even though you're clipping the hell out of them? Yeah, I couldn't figure it out for years either, until I discovered that hybrid trap kicks break every rule I knew about kick synthesis. So today, I'm revealing the single clipping method that changed everything. After cracking big room kicks, I thought I had it all figured out, that my scientific method was universal. But I was wrong. Hybrid trap kicks simply didn't fit my plus 6 dB threshold rule in Pro MB and sounded terrible. For 9 years, I tried forcing hybrid trap kicks into my existing framework, clipping them with plugins, keeping them at safe levels, following all my rules, but they always sounded weak and hollow, no matter how much I processed them. So let's make a hybrid trap kick at 150 BPM in the key of F. I'm using kick 2, but this works in any kick synthesizer. The key difference? Hybrid trap kicks are fundamentally different, shorter, darker, and they demand to be loud. This isn't just different settings. This is a completely different philosophy about clipping and loudness. First, the length. At 150 BPM, 1/8 note equals 200 milliseconds. But here's the twist. We're going to choke it down to 1/16 length using the amplitude curve. We set it to 1/8 only to properly place the fundamental frequency. And now for the pitch curve. Unlike big room or psytrance, hybrid trap kicks start much lower and pitch down faster. Left endpoint at C6, 1046.5 Hz. Notice we're starting at 1046 Hz, not 20,000 Hz, like other genres. This gives us fewer high frequencies but more of those punchy, boxy frequencies which will allow our kick to be heard and cut through the mix. Right endpoint at F1, 43.65 Hz, are fundamental. And at the 1/512th mark, 3.125 milliseconds, I place a point at G2, 98 Hz. This fast pitch down gives us enough presence in the 150 to 1500 Hz range for cutting through the mix while maintaining that soft hybrid trap body. But now here's where it gets interesting. We add light distortion and clipping, but this is not the main clipping. This is purely cosmetic, for character and color. In kick 2, I set the wave distortion to 22% with 50% mix and drive to 90%. Just enough to roughen it up and add some high frequencies. But be careful not to go overboard. This is seasoning, not the main dish. And even though I'm using the built-in effects in kick 2, you can feel free to use whatever distortion plugins you want. Now for the amplitude curve, first point at 100% volume on the left. Second point at the 1/128th mark, 12.5 milliseconds, also at 100% volume. And final point at the 1/8 mark set to 0% volume. But here's the key. I curve the line downward between the second and final points. This chokes the kick after 1/16th, making it punchy and tight. The amount of curve depends on how much distortion you applied earlier. So that's it, a pretty simple amp curve. This is because the pitch down is happening so fast that we don't have enough room in the amp curve editor to be precise and target specific frequencies. But don't worry, because we're gonna address it in the next step. Now remember that cosmetic distortion? It created some spectral damage that we need to fix. So I use Pro Q3 with a Bell EQ at A4, 440 Hz, set to -6 dB with 0.7 Q factor and a 24 dB octave slope in order to affect only these specific frequencies. This undoes the frequency imbalance the distortion created, preparing the kick for the final step. We're keeping everything clean until the very end. Now here's the breakthrough that took me 9 years. One day I accidentally boosted a hybrid trap kick by 6 dB over my usual plus 6 dB threshold mark, and it sounded beefier. Then I tried plus 12 dB over threshold, and it sounded even better. You boost the entire kick by either 6 or 12 dB above the normal plus 6 dB threshold mark in Pro MB. So that's 12 or 18 dB total above threshold, depending on how punchy and hard you want your kick to be. This forces the limiter to do the final clipping, and that's where the magic happens. So here's why this works. Only one element should do the final clipping, the limiter. Clipping your kick heavily, then limiting it, is like wearing a hat on a hat. Redundant and ugly. The limiter's clipping character combined with strategic loudness creates that signature hybrid trap knock. Not plug-in distortion, limiter interaction. And that's it. A hybrid trap kick that actually knocks. Dark attack, but in your face. Soft body, but hard punch. The single clipping method keeps everything clean until the limiter shapes it into that perfect hybrid trap character. While everyone else is destroying their kicks with heavy plug-in clipping, you're using strategic loudness to let the limiter do what it does best. But if you think that hybrid trap is challenging, wait until you try to make techno kicks. There's a reason why most producers can't nail that signature sound. They're destroying the wrong part of their kick. So, you wanna know the secret that took me 9 years to discover? Then hit subscribe right now, because in the next video, I'm finally revealing how to get that signature techno kick sound.